Hello everyone, it's Joshua here, and today we've got a Doctor Who theory. So throughout Doctor Who, we follow the Doctor, who's a Time Lord from Gallifrey. And Time Lords have this neat little trick to cheat death, known as regeneration, where they can bring themselves back to life with a new body. And in the show, that means that we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11 Doctors for the first regeneration cycle. Yeah, it's a bit complicated. And then, when he was about to die, Clara convinces the Time Lords to give him a whole new regeneration cycle, resulting in the 12th and 13th Doctors. So, I'm basically here to say that the first Doctor is actually the 10th Doctor, and Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is actually the 25th. Okay, this can get complicated. What I've got for proof. Please don't click away, Morbius Doctors. Hang on. I know a lot of people don't really like talking about the Morbius Doctors, but I do. So, if you don't know, there was a Tom Baker serial known as The Brain of Morbius, and where the Doctor fights the Time Lord known as Morbius, and they have a battle of the minds where they show the first, second, and third Doctors, all the Doctors previously, as well as 8 mystery faces. And a lot of people might tell you that those 8 faces are Morbius's lives, but no, they're not. From this quote, the person who made this episode is basically confirming that these are previous incarnations of the Doctor before William Hartnell. So, I'm counting that as canon. They're not Morbius's past faces. They're not anyone he encountered. They're not anyone from the Doctor's past or future, or Morbius's past or future that they've met. These are 8 faces before William Hartnell. And that would only make William Hartnell the 9th Doctor. But I'm saying he's the 10th, so where does the other face come in? Well, listen to these quotes here.
I think she was a man back then. I'm fairly sure that I was too. It was a long time ago.
It very heavily implies that at one point the Doctor was a woman, and probably his first incarnation, as it was pretty early on when he just met the Master, and we knew that the Doctor was a boy pretty early on in his childhood. So, what happened? Well, in the Forever storyline, Theta Sigma, who would become the Doctor, did regenerate when on an adventure with the Master, but since that was in an alternate timeline where he never left Gallifrey, who knows if we can count that as canon. But you don't really think that like a really young child would manage to kill themselves some dumb way. Like, I don't know. Maybe they tripped over a brick. Just accept the fact that at some point before this, the Doctor regenerated. Okay? And that would make 10 Doctors, that would make 9 Doctors before William Hartnell. But that means that the last Doctor in the cycle would be Tom Baker. And Tom Baker definitely didn't receive a whole new regeneration cycle. Or did he? Now, if we take a look at all the regenerations, we see quick fades, or explosions. Basically, when the Doctor is fatally injured, he brings himself back to life. But something weird happens when the 4th Doctor's regeneration. Instead of just changing from 4 to 5, this thing comes in and absorbs himself into the Doctor. What are you? What is that? What are that? Grammar.
The Watcher!
Oh, of course, that makes perfect sense. Wait, what's the Watcher? Hang on, give me everything we know about the Watcher.
He was the Doctor all the time.
What? That's it? What does that mean? This creature's following the Doctor throughout all of Legopolis, and this is all we get? What? Okay, so to explain the Watcher, I'm gonna have to go into the 6th Doctor era, into Trial of the Valeyard. No, I did not say Child of a Time Lord. Wrong. This is a sequel. It's an audio drama, and you might not think that that's canon, but Big Finish is canon in my opinion. If you don't believe that, oh well. So, in this story, this Valeyard says that the Sixth Doctor is trying to find a way to become immortal. And the Sixth Doctor agrees that in his future, he probably did it. Like, he said that there was truth to that statement, that his future incarnations try to find a way to have infinite life. And the Valeyard is an amalgamation of everything dark between the Doctor's 12th and final incarnation. And this is said by the Master. Maybe he simply knew that they weren't the Doctor, because he does say the Doctor, and the Doctor didn't take on the title of the Doctor immediately. He was the Hermit for a little bit, and, the Time Lords choose their title. And so maybe all these incarnations that we're talking about aren't the Doctor, they're called something else. So, let's say that's why he said the 12th and 13th incarnation of the Doctor. But let's think, if we were going by the actual canon timeline of the Doctor, where would that leave us? In between the Journey's End 10th Doctor and the 11th Doctor. Now, did anything happen during that time period that would make him sad and want to be able to cure death? Yeah, it's not really hard to believe, is it? I mean, he literally goes psychotic, pretty much.
It took me all these years to realize the laws of time are mine, and they will obey me!
So, I don't think he was trying to become immortal for himself. I think he tried to get a cure for death just to give to his friends so that they wouldn't keep dying, that they could keep traveling with him. So, what does this mean? I think that he did find a cure for death, that he did find a way to become immortal for Time Lords. I think he made an entire new regeneration cycle during this experimentation. 13 lives. Now, when the 11th Doctor gets his regeneration cycle from the Time Lords, it's just like pixie dust. Look at this. You think this is 13 lives because this is what happens when one life dies. This is the expulsion of one life. And this is 13? No. I don't believe that. You know what would probably look like if you had 13 separate lives, like, coexisting into one form? I'm gonna guess like this. Oh yeah, we just made a bootstrap paradox. I'm saying that the Sixth Doctor was agreed with the Valeyard about these doctors trying to come up with mortality, making the Watcher, who would go back in time to give 13 lives to the Fourth Doctor to continue on with the regeneration cycle. Circle. And instead of just changing from 4 to 5, you see the Doctor fall, and he's laying on the ground dying. And then he uses the key word,
It's the end. But the moment has been prepared for.
Now, this pretty heavily indicates that he's dying, and not like his body's dying, but he's dying. In all the other regenerations, it seems pretty clear that he's just going to change into a new person. Let's not talk about David Tennant's tantrum. That's, that no one cares about that. The point is, it's always about him changing, not dying. But here, he clearly states the end, as in, end of his life. This would place Jodie Whittaker as the 25th incarnation as the Doctor. That leaves another question. When Matt Smith gets this regeneration cycle, well, why would he need it? Why can't he regenerate? Well, a few reasons. A few possibilities. Choose which one you want. One, I like to call the me effect. In Doctor Who, there's a character called Me. Like, she is so old with a limited memory, so she can't remember stuff from her past. If a Time Lord is supposed to live for only 13 lives, and at this point he's already well past that limit, who's to say that he couldn't have forgotten that he had some of these lives? It's not the first time he would forget something big in his life. Maybe he got his memory away. There are so many possibilities why he can't remember these faces. Or maybe he just doesn't want to regenerate. But anyway, what I think happens is, when this happens, this is not 13 lives. It's the same stuff that the Doctor gave the Master when they were children. Now, if you didn't know, the Master committed suicide when he was a child, and the Doctor had to basically rush in, give him an antidote that would immediately cause him to regenerate. I think that's what this is. Something just trigger regeneration, and have the Doctor realize that, oh yeah, I don't need this. I can just regenerate anyway. The only way to prove my theory is in a few incarnations. BBC, please have the Doctor not able to regenerate. Please see my theory and agree with it. Where are the new Doctors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So BBC, in a little while, could you please address the fact that the Doctor cannot regenerate because he's expended his second regeneration cycle? That would be great. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you agree with it, even though you probably won't. But let me know if you find any plot holes. Leave them down in the description. Leave them down in the comments, and I'll try to find a way around them. Or maybe my theory is just completely wrong. That's the more likely option, but I hope it's not. Make sure that if you did like this video, give it a like, and if you really like it, subscribe. That's it for me, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.